Hi everyone, it's Stephanie from Mission Moments Event Planning. And for today's vlog, I wanted to dive into reflection on the past year where I've attended several fundraising events. And I've picked out a couple things that have resonated with me and stuck in my memory of why the event was great. And the answer is different for every single event. My hope in sharing this insight in this list is that you will pull something out of it to incorporate into the next fundraising event that you plan to make your events amazing for your guests and help them further connect with the work you're doing. The first thing that I have on my list is one event I walked in, and the impact of the decor was absolutely tremendous. It set the tone for the entire event. Everyone knew that they're going to have a great time, and this was a very well done event. It was classy, it was impactful, and folks didn't want to leave at the end of the night. We were kind of pushing people out of the room at the end so we can get everything cleared out and cleaned up. And that's always a sign of a great event when people don't want to leave because they're having too much fun. I think the decor helped set the vibe of the whole event in the space and let folks know that they were going to have a great time. Number two on my list, I attended a gala and the presentation really tied the audience to the mission. They absolutely nailed it with talking about what they're doing in the community. They had a survivor speak about her story and how the services impacted her family. And their awardee also talked about their connection to the mission and how it made an impact over several decades. There's nothing more important than making people feel something when they learn about the mission of your organization and the work they're doing. It really connects your audience with the organization and not just a one-time transactional event where they're there for a party, essentially. This was so well done, and people didn't feel that the program was too long. They weren't bored. They weren't looking at their phone. They weren't looking around. They were really engaged in the communication that the organization wanted to get across. And I can't emphasize enough how wonderful that is to see people just truly inspired by all the hard work that the nonprofits are doing in the community. My number three was a recent event that I attended. They hosted a casino gaming at the event. And this is not the first time that I've been to an event with casino gaming, but it's the first time I've been able to play because I wasn't the person planning the event. And I have to say, it was so much fun. I think the key in hosting entertainment is interaction. So if you want your individual guests to have a great time and then also connect with their friends and have a great time, if you want them to talk about the event and add it to their calendar right away to come back next year, have some sort of interactive gaming or entertainment component where people from all backgrounds and all levels of abilities have the opportunity to engage more than just watching. I think that's the key. Having them interact and engage and be part of the activity makes a tremendous difference. Number four on my list goes back to mission. So I recently attended an outside event for high school, and the pep band played for the audience, and it was part of the entertainment. And seeing these children who were very new to band, very new to playing instruments, get out in front of a group of several hundred people and play to their heart's content. It was so touching because that can be very intimidating and nerve-wracking. And they all did it with a smile on their face. They were enthusiastic. They were excited to share. And it just brought the mission home on why we were all there that day. So it was a little bit of a twofer. It incorporated the mission and it was entertainment. And people really enjoyed listening to them for the different time periods that they played. And another one on my list kind of goes across multiple events, but just connecting with familiar faces. If you go to certain events or you're incorporated with different nonprofits year after year, it is so much fun to connect with people that you've seen over the year, that you haven't seen in the past year, perhaps, people you've talked to over email. And this comes from dedicating yourself to engaging people so that way they know you and you know them. So when you get to the room and you finally do see each other in person, there's a warm welcome and flowing conversation. Every time you can afford different individuals to connect and make that conversation natural and fun, it is definitely going to heighten the level of enjoyment for your participants, for your staff, for your volunteers. And you have to give people a space to connect. The program can't be so stringent that you're running from one thing to a next and people don't have a time just to talk and catch up. So that was really enjoyable for several events. And the last is to round it out once again with a mission moment. The ride that I went to had a memory mile, and there were faces of individuals that had been impacted by the mission all the way along the first mile of the route. And it was really powerful. It's powerful to see the faces of the individuals affected by the cause. And it once again reminds folks why they're there. And it does it in a way that's appropriate, especially if you work in a topic that is heavy. Seeing a memory mile and letting people read on their own and go along their own pace and process that information in a space that is up to them if they want to participate or not is really powerful. So I hope some of these ideas and examples of great event pieces and components spark some excitement and enthusiasm in you for the next event that you're planning. As always, if you need support with event planning services so you can focus on raising funds and focus on connecting with donors, our team is available. Learn more at missionmomentsevents.com.